Real Oviedo 0, Real Madrid 3. And I have to be completely honest here. Some parts of the game were really, really good. Some parts, especially when we started that second half, very lethargic, very slow, and allowed Oviedo to get into the match. But let me just talk about Rodrigo's start and then Vini coming on when Oviedo were open and bringing in those fresh legs, which was a very, very good decision by Xabi Alonso, especially that 60th minute onwards when they're completely open and allowing Vini to actually attack that defense. Now, Rodrigo, let me just start with him first. Started positively, driving into the box, very, very tidy footballer. You saw when he maintained possession, passing, moving, driving, beating players for fun, and that's what Rodrigo does. He does it excellently well, and a lot of people were actually giving applause to Rodrigo for how he performed. But for me, across that first half, there was one man that stood out. Tchouaméni. That guy was incredible. In the press, how he tackled, everything about him was excellent. People would disregard Tchouaméni and his performance and then look at Vini and the amount of, obviously, the goal that he got and the assist and say that Vini or Mbappe were man of the match. For me personally, when I looked at it across the whole game, Tchouaméni was absolutely fantastic. Probably our best player. The reason being is because when you have someone like that in the midfield, it actually allows the team to push forward. Because you know Tchouaméni is going to be the initial player that's going to press and going to make the move to actually cut off passes and really drive the ball forward. And guess what he did? That tackle, bit of a mixed match. Not sure if it was completely clean. But as soon as Arda Güler got the ball, threaded through Mbappe, amazing. Mbappe took the touch away and absolutely banged it in the back of the net. An excellent, excellent movement there from Real Madrid, especially with Tchouaméni pressing quickly and then regaining the possession from Real Madrid where Arda Güler can thread through Mbappe there. Now, let me get on to the second half because the first half itself, it was tidier than the second half. Very, very tidy. The players were moving and you can clearly see when we have the more technical footballers on the pitch that it allows us to have complete control of the ball and then work it properly. And especially when Oviedo is sitting back, it's very difficult to penetrate that. And we saw it was also sooner last week when we didn't have these type of players and it just allows us to be a bit more reserved and it's safe with not really many risks. That's what I wanted to say. Safe, but with not many risks. That's what Alonso's football is. But second half starts, and then Real Madrid look completely out of it. For about 15, 20 minutes, they looked lost. Even more than that, because more of the goals came towards the latter stages of the match. So, when Alonso decides to sub off Rodrigo and replace him with Vini, you saw Rodrigo was clearly angry by that. But then Vini comes on and he takes time to adjust to the game. Takes time naturally, of course, as with any player. And then makes a very good pressing maneuver. Presses excellently well. Regains possession. Passes on to Mbappe. 2-0. That was really good from Vini. Very, very good. And then for the third goal, Oviedo completely open at the back, two defenders essentially. Vini has time and space and then completely seals it off for Real Madrid. 3-0. A very, very good substitution, bringing on fresh legs. And I've said this before. I've said it before. Bring on Vini in those games where the team is not so expansive. They like to sit low block and then choose Vini wisely to come on as a substitute to now make a huge impact because he's fresh, he's pacey, he's going to run at defenders, and he's going to make a huge impact. That's what it is. And for me, when I look at it across the entirety of the game, I still think Tchouaméni is our man of the match. People were saying Mbappe's man of the match. Look, he got 2 goals. 2 really good goals. Vini got an assist and a goal. Arda Güler got an assist. Yeah, but Tchouaméni in that midfield was a masterful player. Masterful. And if people don't realize that, then I'm not sure what you're watching. Because you can count all the GA in the world. But if you don't have that player in the midfield who's solid and actually allows the team to just step up the pitch, then we lose possession. We lose control of the game. So, unfortunately, for some Real Madrid fans who see Vini's cameo as a man of the match performance, it's not. It's not a man of the match performance. You need to have just an eye out for the midfielders, because you can have a midfield performance that is blown the whole competition in terms of man of the match and what you want to give him. But when you have strikers and you have wingers that score goals, they take the highlight away from that. So we need to actually look at Tchouaméni as a very strong contender for the man of the match. And Alonso made the substitutions at the right time. Brahim Diaz and Vini looked sluggish when they came on. They did. Vini got caught off guard big time because he dived in the box. Yellow card. Yellow card. But then he took that personal. That's where Vini excels. When he takes something personal, he says, okay, watch this. And then you saw the assist that he gave to Mbappe. What he was looking at probably was the referee or one of the players on Oviedo's side and say, take that, essentially. That's what he saw. So when he takes it personal, good. Because then he actually looks frightening on the pitch. And he can be a huge, huge impact player. But to disregard someone like Tchouaméni, who was excellent the whole game, just shows what you are looking for in football. Are you looking for goals and assists? Or are you looking for the players in that centre of the park that can really make an impact in certain moments? And that game itself, the goal, the initial goal, just forced Oviedo to come out, to be more attacking. And they had several opportunities themselves. Several opportunities. So we can't disregard midfielders' performance. We can't. But Vini had an excellent game towards the end of the match. Mbappe had a very good game across the whole game as well. So we look defensively and we say Carvajal's very tidy. Very, very tidy. The defense itself looked very good in certain portions. But the second half, when Oviedo started attacking, and Hassan especially, who looked very, very promising on the right-hand side, when Carreras sometimes in the second half was not looking up to par. So you have to look across all the players and say, okay, what kind of impact they made. Arda Güler, the main impact they made was that first-time ball, essentially, to Mbappe. He's thread it through, Mbappe takes the touch away, and it's a goal. And look, I had people in the live chat saying, oh, what you're saying about Vini now. Look, when the game is stretched, and Oviedo are just literally pumping players forward, it's the perfect time for Vini to come on and make an impact. Especially directly in the centre when you're looking to run at players and actually create opportunities and drive them with pace and power. That's what you need in those instances. But when you have a team that's sitting back, you need more of a Rodrigo type player that can actually be impactful and work it within the tight areas there. Because we saw Vini last game against Osasuna, and he did absolutely nothing because Osasuna was sitting back completely. But Rodrigo was making an impact and driving into the box and doing the give and go with Mbappe. He still didn't see Carreras on the outside, I've got to be honest. But he had a decent game. A very decent game. And was one of the star players in the first half. But Tchouaméni overall across the match was excellent. Excellent. The pressing that he was doing was so good. The man literally had the button on slide tackle, essentially. That's what he did. And he was making pressing maneuvers that were cutting off Oviedo in the midfield. And it was such a great thing to see. It's such a great thing to see. Tchouaméni from last year didn't impress. But under Alonso, he's been one of the most consistent performers under Alonso. Do you realize that? One of the most consistent. So, look, the whole performance was great. From the first half was very, very good. We were looking silky smooth with the passing, very quick. The passing was really, really direct at times. Second half, come out, not so good. Vini comes on, makes a very huge impact in the game. Mbappe still running full pelt. That guy, Mbappe, honestly, amazing. He is going to be such a crazy player for Real Madrid this season. Crazy player. And you just need to look at it overall. When you're going across the whole season, this guy is putting in goals like he's going to do this season. Honestly, we are going to be a frightening team against this type of opposition. However, we're going to look at games coming up. And Sociedad away, going to be very tough. Yeah, very, very tough. We've got Barcelona, we've got Atletico Madrid away. So these are the kind of games that we need to look at and see what we actually need in terms of how we're going to build up the play, how we're going to actually create attacking opportunities time and time again, and be ruthless. Today, we were ruthless towards the end of the game. Middle portion, not so good, but first half, very, very good as well. But guys, take care, honestly. That's my, obviously, match reaction. If you like, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And let me know who's your standout performer. Who's your standout performer? Because mine is definitely Tchouaméni. Let me know your man in the match overall. I think a lot of people will probably choose Mbappe because he got 2 goals, or Vini because he got an assist and a goal as well. But make sure you let me know that in the comments down below, and we will see you next time. Take care. Adios. A la Madrid, in nada más, and a very decent performance. Take care.